Hi, it's Empress Rose. Welcome to our collective reading. We're going to take what works, leave what doesn't. Welcome back to the channel. I so appreciate you being here. We're going to start off with, I forget what this, Dreamscape Oracle by Matt Hughes. Okay, we have balance on the table here. Very, seems a little Libra. Oh boy. And then these all came out. Let's see here. Okay, two concepts and two characters. So our concepts are balance and light. So that must mean there must be some darkness, which is the norm. So some clarity coming through, really getting, I guess the balance seems like, I could be thinking about like physical balance, thinking about physical balance and being able to balance on something, like a balance beam, or, and then it's making me feel like being centered is being balanced, right? Like having your energy in your center. It's not over here, it's not over there. It's like the wobbling, there's not a lot of wobbling here. There's kind of some centered stability is what I'm seeing here. And some information coming to light, and maintaining your stability as this information comes to light, or as this, it's like you want to receive it. This is not something that you're not wanting to receive, but there is some positivity. Both of these are very positive cards. And maybe the light is coming in to balance out some darkness. In the Northern Hemisphere, we're in a very dark time. So it's the darkness. It's the sun is setting at 4:22 today. Like, I don't know why I live here. So so balancing, getting some light, maybe. Oh, maybe you need to get a front light, or a, what do you have, front light? The lights for the SAD, seasonal affective disorder. Maybe I need that, but so some light coming in here to balance out some darkness, I think. And it could be information that you could be lacking information. Some information is coming in. I will say it won't be all of the information that you need, but if this is an information coming in, or ideas or concepts coming in, you're going to get part of the story. You're not going to get the whole story. So just an aspect of it. So that's something to be very aware of. Koi fish, very lucky. The koi fish reminds me of gold. It's sort of like, it goes up the river. I want to say the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. But the rainbow is you're really having to push against some kind of headwind, some kind of you're having to be very strong as something comes towards you, as something you're pushing your way through something. You're not going with the flow, you're kind of going against the flow. So going with the flow is great. Like, we've got these surrender cards, and there are these moments where we go with the flow. This is like you're kind of going the opposite direction as everybody around you, as the flow of energy around you could be going this way, but you want to go that way. And it creates a being of pure muscle, like fish. Like, that's why we eat fish, because there's just a lot of muscle there to eat. And so so you're going upstream, you're having to be very strong, but at the end of this process, you are promised some sort of transformation. In the legends of the koi fish, they turn into a dragon. They turn into a dragon. So you're a dragon in waiting, or not waiting. You're a dragon. You are a dragon in preparation. So whatever you're doing right now is creating some kind of inner strength. As you sort of go against the flow in some area of your life. It could be family, all does this. You're zigging where everything else zags. The world, history, it all wants you to go this way, and you're going this way. I want to say it's like the Amelia Earhart of things. Like there's some sort of instinct or some sort of drive within you. There's a drive. There's an inner drive that's causing you to, Amelia Earhart should have been a housewife, but here she is, just doing her thing. She may not have even noticed that it was again. I mean, I'm sure she did at some point, but notice that it's all of society is telling her, you go this direction. She is going this direction. So that inner strength and that drive, and I don't think she sat down and was like, everybody's zigging, I'm going to zag. I think she just wanted to fly, and that just caused her to be going against a headwind of culture and expectations. So that's what I'm seeing here is going against the headwind of culture and expectations, or something around you. It could just be a work culture, could just be a family culture, but going against that to move in a direction that's causing that is calling you. So getting very Eight of Cupsy here, like calling you. So, and this, it's building character. Like you're getting stronger as you go. And at the end of this journey, what is the end? At some point, there's the pot of gold or the dragon, the transformation, where all of this work, all of this musculature that you've built becomes relevant. It kind of comes together, and like, you were just on your way to becoming a very strong, like Amelia Earhart, this cultural icon that we have now. She wouldn't have been a cultural icon if she'd done everything culture was telling her a woman should be and do at that time. Even this time, I'm not sure how much things have changed. So I want to say it's the, I know I bring this analogy up a lot, but the Mr. Miyagi, like wax on, wax off from Karate Kid, and he has Karate Kid do a bunch of different chores basically, but the chores are all building these muscles. And so he's, waxing a bunch of cars, but he's building all these muscles up here. So those daily practices, those daily things that you're doing that are bringing you, but you are going upstream here. Okay. So that koi fish had a lot to say. And then our other character here is Tiger. These two together, determination, stay the course, be determined, be very strong. Tiger, once it sets its eyes on a goal, it does not stop until it gets it. It does not stop. So this tiger this is the same energy, the koi fish and the tiger. The koi fish might be emotional strength, emotional determination. And this is like out physical, 4 feet, 4 paws on the ground determination, more of a physical thing. So these two together are just all about determination and not stopping until you reach your goal. Finish it up. Finish it off. This is really brutal. What do you think about the tiger? But we're going to finish it off, okay? There's going to be blood all over your face. Just thinking of tigers finishing it off. So a little gruesome. Sorry for the vegans and of my former self. But yeah, so finishing it off, like complete this task. And it may have quite a headwind. Maybe it's even a time, like you're pushing against time. You're pushing against time. So yeah, the determination of both the koi fish and the tiger, like two very different determined energies. I also want to say these could be characters, people in your life, someone who's really going against the grain upstream, and someone who's got, no, it's you, and it's the same. I'm sorry. I like wanted to see them as characters, but, and maybe they are, but you're using your discernment, because tarot is not here to take over your life and tell you what's what. This is very much a situation where I'm reading cards and you're gleaning the most helpful things for you, but we're not overriding your intuition or your understanding or your guidance system. That's internal to you. Okay. Illusion, mirror, could be being triggered by something. Oh, a false illusion. Or it's like yelling at each other, but you're not yelling at each other. You're like you know, when you just can't get on the same page with somebody and they're like, no, I'm not mad about that, but they think you're mad about that, or they think you're mad and you think they're mad, but neither one of you was originally mad. There's like some sort of confusion, and you're just mad at yourself is what really it comes down to in this situation. Just kind of frustrated with yourself. But also this is reminding me of like of this really old like mid 1800s, so I guess it's like almost 200 years old mirror, and it's very heavy, and so it's sometimes the hooks I use and whatever, no matter what I do, that just can't hold the mirror. So the mirror is on the ground right now, and Jack discovered it, and he has fallen in love with himself. He'll just sit in the mirror, and I have this picture of him just like, this cat, oh my God, have you seen this cat? It's really, really adorable. So this is the opposite. This is like, have you seen that asshole? I see him every so often in the hallway. Like, it's just, so the point is the mirror. I was like, did I explain that? The mirror is down on the ground, so Jack can now see himself in the mirror, and he can just sit all day in front of the mirror and look at himself. It's very adorable and concerning. But this is the opposite. It could be the same, but it is like, I don't know if it's so much illusion. Maybe you're seeing yourself in a way, and you want to blame other people. I would say that the illusion is blaming somebody else for something that is completely within your jurisdiction. It could also be, whoa. Okay, so you are seeing yourself incorrectly. That's also with this, you think you're a fish, but you're a dragon, with like a massive hoard at the end of this. You have some sort of wealth, you have something that's very valuable, but this mirror is cracked. That is crucial. The way you are seeing yourself is incorrect. It is, and you're mad at like yourself, but you're not seeing yourself properly. You're not seeing yourself with the eyes of compassion. You're not seeing yourself, you know, it is important to deal with our darkness. It is important to deal with the ways in which we are someone that we didn't want to be, or we are, we pass on the pain we've experienced, ways in which we aren't our ideal self. And it's really important to be getting an accurate look at that. But this is like some sort of inaccurate look of yourself. You don't see yourself properly here. You're looking in a mirror and you're seeing all your faults, right? This is a pandemic of body dysmorphia that we have in our culture right now. But you don't see yourself properly. There's something in the mirror that you're upset about, or when you look at yourself, you don't like it, and you need to see it with more light. And it isn't that we're saying this darkness is like whatever you're seeing is absolutely incorrect. We're just saying it's distorted. It's distorted view of yourself. And you need to bring some more light into what could be a very dark self-analysis, balancing that out. Like, it's not that it's right. These shards do show accuracy, but they distort it also. It's jagged. It's, you appear misaligned or not put together very well. But there is something but it's just in the view of it. It's not you. It's, it is you. It's you, but you're seeing yourself in a fragmented way and not in the actual cohesive wholeness of who you are. So if you look in the mirror, you might just be seeing the bits about, like, let's just take it really physical. You're looking in the mirror and you're seeing bits about yourself that you don't like. You're glossing over all of the beautiful bits and all of the whole basically beautiful experience of being in a body at all. Like, we have to have a body in order to be alive. It's never going to conform to this culture's very bizarre, just disturbing standards, right? So I often wonder what it would be like to have grown up in a culture without mirrors. And certainly there are like things that different cultures have felt are beautiful, you know, the neck rings and stuff like that, and things that, you know, maybe we wouldn't think of beautiful, but they did think of as beautiful. But I do wonder what it would have been like to grow up in a culture without mirrors. Like how would we feel about our bodies if we never saw them like that, or we never had these standards being imposed at such a distance from reality, and usually by men, and usually, I mean, in a patriarchal culture, who else is setting the standards? But also women are participating somehow. Anyway, what if we didn't have that? That would be so cool. So anyway, distorted view of yourself. And you're only looking at the negative or something like that, and you need to bring some more beauty and appreciation to that. Yeah. And then we have stability. Oh, I like that, because we were talking about that centeredness, the stability, right? We were just talking about this, the wobble, and then the stability. Certainly after my hip surgery, we're moving on to a lot of stability work every day, of just focusing on balance and stability and getting those wobbles out. So you may be more stable than you think. And this sort of like this mirror creates a wobbly self-impression, self thing, but the stability, we're creating a much more stable sense of self here. Creating a stable home. I don't really see a lot of other cards, but I think it's a stable sense of self is what we're sort of getting at here. This koi fish of the not there yet, and this tiger of the determined. So, yeah. All right, we're going to take from the goddesses. These goddesses. I haven't drawn them yet. I just cut the deck, shuffled a little bit more, and drew and cut the deck. But I just want to say that these are going to be very important in this reading. That was the message I got when I picked up this deck today. So, in your environment or what's going on around you, Oya, change, storms, maybe changes due to storms, water buffalo, electricity, just, yeah, a lot of changes going on around you. Well, yeah, that seems pretty obvious. And then you guys, you are Freya for the third week in a row. What? What is happening? Is Friday important? Friday? What is going on? Why are you Freya for 3 weeks in a row? Why are we Freya? Free spirit, are we not being free enough? What's happening? Maybe we're not being free enough and we just keep getting this message. Or maybe we're in a place, maybe it's like almost like a 3-week void of course moon, where there's no like karmic blowback for the things we do, or no blowback. But the changes in the midst of these changes, just being completely yourself. You know, just having this like 3 weeks in a row, I feel like I need to read it. Like, are we getting this message? Is that why it's 3 weeks? Or is it just this like 3-week time period where it's like, you are free? It's a free week time period, not a 3-week. Okay. Well, I'll just read the whole thing. Norse fertility goddess Freya, whose name means lady, rules the Valkyries. She rides her chariot, which symbolizes self-governance and movement. She wears a cloak of falcon feathers that give her the gift of flight. Her charm and beauty won many male admirers, and she's associated with love and fertility. Freya loves beautiful things, especially her magical bracing necklace. The runes are her sacred symbols. Freya is queen of the free spirit and liberation. She playfully invites you to reconnect to your magical spirit and let your heart sing and dance with joyful enthusiasm. Carefree, liberated, childlike, uninhibited, pleasure, self-expression, fun, spontaneity, validation of self, socialization, celebration, letting your hair down, flexible enthusiasm. You know, now that I read that, I have been in a period of that for 3 weeks. So working on a project with a bunch of people where this is what it is. It is, you know, performing femininity, which is definitely like all the shaving and painting is very, very much work, but it has been very fun and very delightful. So we are in this free spirit, number 11. And yeah, the Chariot, going places, going someplace. It's another travel. It's a Chariot card. Travel, you're free to go wherever you want, do whatever you want. You don't, I feel like you're not really answering to anybody, including maybe even like karma or greater forces. That's really cool. Okay, well, we're going to pull tarot because sometimes it's like, no freedom. Like, so we'll see what light we layer. And this Light Seers Tarot was gifted to me recently, and I love it. But I got the tiny one, so I love it. So it is a little smaller though. All right, cutting the deck here. And then from the bottom of the deck, we have 8 of Cups. Already mentioned here, 8 of Cupsy, right? I said 8 of Cupsy, heading on, it's the koi fish. Heading on, moving on to something else, moving on to something better, more associated, more something better for you. Leaving something behind for sure. Maybe not permanently. You might be coming back to it. It looks to me like she's going beachcombing. I don't know exactly, but it looks to me like she's going beachcombing, and she's got a little hoard already. She's got all her little shells over here already, and she's just heading out to see what other shells she can find. What else is out there? So you've done that. You have already done that. You are in a process of like, what else is out there? What else could I be doing? What else might I enjoy? What can I add to this situation? So it is sort of like, I feel like it's wanting to add to your happiness. What other things might make me happy? I always get it as like a leaving card, like you're going towards something, but I'm not in this. I'm just seeing in addition to, how can I add to my collection of things that bring me joy and pleasure? Is there something else? These 8 cups bring me joy and pleasure, but there might be 9 or 10 cups out there. I want to go see what else is out there. What else might I want to add to my collection? All right, past, present, inner landscape, what's at issue, environment, to-do list, possible outcome. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Huh, that is fascinating. All right. In your recent past, you have 3 of Cups. You've hung out with some friends. You maybe went to a party, a gathering. It's been really fun. Maybe you've met some new people, a wide variety of people. Everybody's paths sort of coming together and intertwining at a certain moment in time. We have the Big Dipper here, which is like maybe you shared a pitcher of beer or a bottle of wine here. There was definitely something emotional that was shared, like that. The water, the liquid, the emotional. And it was, I would say, some divine timing involved here too. Like, it was just the right time to share this. It's been an emotional sharing. And this has 3 people. It could have been more. I'm kind of getting an idea that this is more. But so in specifically, you may have bonded with like 2 other people specifically at this event. Or it could just be friendships. Some old friendships maybe coming in, and maybe you moved on from these friendships, but you might have circled back. But maybe you have since moved on to these friendships. Like, I think I could have some better friends. But maybe not. Maybe that's not. Maybe in your quest to find something meaningful and enjoyable, you have already met some good people. So these are people you've already met. You've already maybe connected with at least a little bit. So your current situation is the High Priestess. So again, with this like balance and this light card, there's things you know, there's things you don't know, there's things, okay. Phones are so weird. There's things you know, things you don't know. There are things hidden from you. Yeah. They may be coming to light. But there are things that you really don't know about the situation, maybe about somebody you know, maybe about a friend. There might be information you don't know, but this is the highest intuitive card. So you may be getting some sort of intuition about someone you've already met, about a friend. You may be understanding that, intuiting what this person might mean to you, intuiting maybe even something about this person's life, about who they are, about what they want. It's a feeling that you have about somebody. It's very clearly friendship. It's not, or some kind of relationship. It's not necessarily romantic. We could end up there, but it is just maybe some kind of knowing, some kind of, I wouldn't say knowing, some kind of suspicion. Some kind of suspicion here. You suspect something. I would verify it before really taking strong action, but this is friendships, and you're picking up on something here. Something seems, I want to say maybe even, what do we downloads? I don't know. I almost feel like downloads are sometimes just the synapses in our brain making new connections. But it's like feels up here, so then it feels like it comes down into our information. But I don't know about other people's experiences, so just talking for mine. All right, and then Knight of Swords. You want communication, clarity, and fast. Like, what is going on here? Is this, I'm almost seeing like, does this have potential? Like, you went out beachcombing. You found some stuff. You found some people. You're having intuitions, and you want to know for sure. You want to say something. I think you want to be really clear. You want to say something. Maybe you're like, oh, we could be really good friends. But hold on, I'm getting something with this High Priestess here. There could be something about a different language. Not understanding something, but knowing that somebody does. That there's somebody knows something, or how to interpret some kind of behavior, or something like that. There's something about communication, and in the High Priestess, it's a little unclear, but you have an idea of like, I think this is what's going on. I think this is what was meant, but I'm not sure. And then this is like wanting that clarity, a quick movement. Maybe even wanting to go somewhere very quickly. Maybe you've reached out to friends. Maybe like you're looking for a different place to live, or a new car, or a new job, or something, more tangible, and you've asked friends to help you. And you have a hunch about where this is going to come from, or where this is going, but you would like some immediate feedback right now, like, or to make some communication happen right now, or some insight. You might be a little impatient. And then what's an issue here is the Page of Cups reversed. So somebody's depressed, out of sorts, feeling topsy-turvy. Maybe you want to run to them. Maybe you know that a friend or someone you know or love is having some difficulty, and you'd really like to go see them, visit them, help them through. This could, again, be a grandparent, old person, right? Because it's a page, but it's a page in reverse. So that could mean the opposite of a child, an elderly person. This could be someone who's depressed and out of sorts, an elderly person who's depressed and out of sorts. Emotionally dysregulated. It could be you. I mean, because we're looking at this balance, this like coming into a better balance with something. But here's some emotional dysregulation. Emotional immaturity. Maybe one of your friends is being a little immature, and you might have a suspicion as to why. And you might want to talk about it, but you're not quite sure if this is the right time to talk about it. In your environment, you have Oya. You have changes. Changes happening here. And then you have 8 of Swords. The perception that nothing can be done about these changes. But it's in somebody's head. Changes are happening and they feel powerless to stop them. They feel powerless. Oh, it's like losing electricity. So it's like thinking that there's going to be a break here because technology. I haven't transferred over all of my technology. I'm moving from Android to Apple. It's just as bad as I imagined it would be. Yeah, so it's a process. I'm trying to be very patient with myself with it and with the technology. It's a learning process. I'm used to picking up my phone and knowing exactly where everything is and how to do it all. And that's not happening. I'm picking up my phone and being like, I don't think my finger flicks that direction. I'm not sure what's going on here. So anyway, and all the things that won't transfer and all the things that did, but without dates. So I have 15,000 undated photos. So anyway, it's been a thing. So change, and not feeling quite up to it, not feeling quite up to these changes. So anyway, I'm on my old phone right now. That's what I meant to say. And so there'll be combining issues and stuff like that. So that'll show up. Hopefully not much. So changes happening in your environment. But look at this. Again, we have a mirror that is inaccurate. We have an inaccurate view of ourselves. Second time here, mirror and an inaccurate view of ourselves. And like the phone thing just came up. Maybe you're feeling like you're not able to do something. This is 8 of Swords is always not feeling able to do something, feeling very stuck. So there's somebody here, maybe this is someone you know that's not feeling able to do something, is having a view of themselves that is inaccurate, right? We have this dysregulation, this out of balance situation, this dysregulation. And we have this in your environment is this sense of like, I can't, right? She's right here. She does not have crows binding her here. She is not bound at all. She's free, right? She's free. This crow is not broken up into pieces and shattered. They're whole. They're complete. You're not shattered. This person is not shattered. They are whole. They view themselves as very damaged and incapable. And so there could be a sense of these changes happening, things happening, but our view of ourselves is or somebody's view of themselves. This is your environment. So in all of these changes, someone might be saying like, oh, I can't do anything about it, or this is just the way it is, when they could actually do something about it. But they don't perceive that they can. So that's the situation, is they don't perceive that this change can be, that they can change perhaps. They don't perceive that they can change, or they can handle this change. They perceive themselves as quite incapable. So there's some sort of distorted perception going on in your environment. And it could, again, be like the sort of pandemic of body dysmorphia, or the pandemic of, it could be a psychological sort of pandemic thing of, people feeling helpless, hopeless. But that's not true. There's a lot of personal power here. But there could be a sense of I can't change this about myself. That is an incorrect perception. There are some things that are baked in. I think we've talked about that. Like, it's just, I always wanted to be like someone that could really hold their liquor and could drink everybody under the table. And I am not. And it's been not a long journey. It just is embarrassing. Like, yeah, I had one drink and I'm shit-faced. So that's me. That's my body. That's how I respond to literally everything. Just give me 1 Tylenol, maybe 2. I'll be fine. Like, it'll help. It'll do something. I'm very sensitive to chemicals. So So, but I always wanted that. And it's just kind of baked in that I'm never going to be that person. That's really not going to happen. This isn't one of those things. This is like, I'm always late. I can't help it. This is something somebody can change. I mean, I'm not saying everybody can change that. I don't know what people can change and what people can't change. That's something you have to figure out. I will never drink anybody under the table. I will be the first. I don't even know what that phrase means, but I'll be the first one under the table for sure, guaranteed. It means I don't spend much on alcohol, and alcoholism's never been a temptation for me because I can't get there. Never going to get there. But that's what's going on. Maybe in someone in your environment, maybe a friend of yours is feeling very incapable and is going through a lot of changes. They could be having health changes and they're feeling more incapable than they are. What your place is in that, I'm not sure it's to tell them. Actually, you could. Yeah, I don't think that's probably what the cards are saying. Maybe it is. I don't know. But free, you could say that, I guess. Freya. This is really interesting because my grandmother's name is Frida, which is similar to, it is Freya, but just different. So I like that. Freya. And then we have Seven of Wands, but it came out reversed, which is unusual. Accidental reversal. Oh, I love this in the upright though. She knows. And coming up underneath the High Priestess, she has a vision of the future and knows where she belongs. Any room you're in, you belong there, right? So defending yourself. And this is saying, no, I know where I'm going. And right under the High Priestess with the crystal ball here, that's really interesting, having some sort of information about the future. But it came out in reverse. So your to-do list or suggested action, should the moment arise where this makes sense and you can think of it, Seven of Wands, don't be defensive. You don't need to defend yourself. You don't need to protect your future. You don't need to ward off bad things. You're free. You don't need to stay where you're at. I feel like you don't need to stand your ground here. Your ground is standing all by itself. There's no energy you need to put into preserving a situation or a position. You don't need to be defensive. You don't need to, what's coming to mind is like you're at a bar with some friends and someone's hitting on your significant other. And this is like, you don't need to jump in there and fix that. They might be like, I don't know, I can't do anything about it. But you don't need to. You can just walk away and go have your good time. It doesn't matter. Because, well, I don't know why exactly in your situation, but I would say in that situation, the image that's coming to mind is they either want to be with you or they don't want to be with you. So they'll make decisions about their behavior and you can make decisions about whether that's what you want in your life or not. But you're free to go. You don't have to like stand here and defend yourself or I would say don't defend yourself and don't legitimize some kind of, you're in a position where you don't have to do anything to preserve your position. I don't know why, but it's just saying like, you don't need to be defensive. You don't need to be protective of your position. You can just kind of let things flow because you have a higher intuition and a higher knowing about where something is going. So to me, this feels like the way it is upside down is like, do not concern yourself with petty matters right now because you have a higher knowing and a higher understanding, or somebody does, or some kind of higher knowing and higher understanding where something's going, which is telling you, don't deal with petty stuff. You're free. Like you can do whatever you want. You can go wherever you want. You don't need to like be very overly concerned with how other people are perceiving you. It's almost like just completely ignore it, which is a little bit of the thing we're getting upright. You be in your energy, you're in your destiny, your fate, you belong here. I think that that's all true as well, but I think just the reversal is saying like, don't even bother with something. And the freedom too is like, you don't need to be bothered by something. And so then, I don't know where it's going, but that's the suggested response to the situation. So then we have Four of Swords. Taking a break, a rest. Oh, look. We have this stability here. We have a nest, and then she's in a nest right here. Go to bed. Go take a nap. Go make sure you rest after some sort of situation that you don't need. It could be someone brings you some sort of petty situation, but it has more to do with them and what they're going through, and you don't really need to be concerned with that. So you're just out here exploring and having a good time. You're free to do this or not do that, or continue down a path or not continue down a path. You don't need to be worried about what other people think, or how other people are responding. Like, really not even like engaging with it mentally. I don't know how you do that, but that's what it's saying. Make sure you take care of yourself. In the future, there will be rest. So it could be right now you're having a good time, you're out there having a great time expressing your femininity or your freedom, your Freya, expressing yourself very freely. I feel like it is like the, dance like nobody's watching. Even though there might be a lot of people watching and they might wish they could do that. But this is going to be a little bit of like, move and do not worry about what other people are seeing or their perspective, because they're looking at things. A lot of people might be looking at things through a broken mirror right now. And it's in specific feeling very broken themselves. Meanwhile, you're out here doing you in a very nonchalant way, I think, or a very like self-possessed way. But there's a lot of distortion. Like, it's kind of a hall of mirrors, and I would say projection. So if people are projecting things onto you, just don't even deal with it. And they might even be friends or people that you would normally like rely on, projecting their fears, their insecurities onto you. And your job is to not be bothered at all by that. I don't know. And then we have these two nests, like, go nest down, go nesting, go to sleep, take a nap. It's the nap card. It's probably one of my favorite cards in all of tarot, is go take a nap for your health. Like, it's very healthy. And some sort of phase may be ending, some sort of project may be ending. It's really important to rest after this project, because you don't want to hit the next day, the new day, tired, the new thing tired. So there is something sort of dawning here. There is a dawn, but I think you want to be well rested after some sort of, after this completion, after you get there, you want to be well rested. All right. And then I've got two final decks here. I want to do the feathers first. We're going to do the feathers. All right. Pick one. Did you say this one? All right. Duck. Oh, this is my favorite. Not my favorite, but it's my favorite. Like, I want to come back as a duck. Find comfort and balance. Whoa. Balance. Comfort. The nest. Comfort and balance. Oh my gosh. In simple ways, you have support all around you, right? We've got these friends. Oh, this could be how you're perceiving the world around you. Is you're perceiving it as, you're perceiving the world around you maybe incorrectly, but it's changing, you're changing. So find comfort and balance in simple ways. You have support all around you. Great, perfect, keep it simple. And then I've got the botanical inspirations here. I haven't worked with this deck for a while. It's a very intellectual deck, not a lot of intuition going on here. Gerbera Daisy. Oh, Gerbera Daisy. I remember these were my favorites in high school. Purity, cheerfulness, and innocence. The present moment is filled with joy and happiness. If you are attentive, you will see it. Thich Nhat Hanh. Right. Focusing on the joy and happiness and the present moment. Purity, cheerfulness, and innocence. All of it. All right. So go forth in purity, cheerfulness, and innocence. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining me here, for giving me permission to read the energies that surround you and that you move through. And also it's very much your life. So thank you for adding me in as an element, a little spice maybe. I don't know. All right, I love you guys. See you later.